Hey guys, welcome back. It's Jack from CasinoIncomeAcademy.com. It's been a crazy week with the launch of Baccarat Revolution on Monday. Everything went relatively smoothly, and you know how that happens when it comes to technology and digital stuff and websites. Oh my God, if something can go wrong, it will. So the only thing that we had go wrong on Monday was I made the mistake. So I had the wrong, I gave the tech guys the wrong amount for the discount code, and we caught it right away and it was changed. So if you have not purchased Baccarat Revolution yet, today is, I think we're putting this out on Thursday morning. I think this is going to go, this video will go live. If you haven't purchased it yet, and you have not received, if you're a subscriber and can't find the discount code, just go to the website, shoot me a message through the support, and I will give you the discount code. Many people are taking advantage, which I think is phenomenal, of my generosity of telling you that if you want to purchase multiple of the courses, do not buy Baccarat Revolution by itself. Just shoot me an email and I'll give you a special deal depending on if you're buying, the last roulette one and the craps one or casino diversification toolbox. Whatever mishmash of these that you don't have, you should end up with all of them. And the reason I'm telling you that is because the people that have Casino Diversification Toolbox, which is the base concepts and some ridiculous strategies in there, and then layered that up with AI Bubble Craps Blueprint, then bought the AI Roulette Blueprint. The results that we're getting and that they're getting when they're following the rules, when they're having all those strategies to test and making their own decisions and creating a toolbox of only the strategies within that sphere of things that are working for them after testing, are doing phenomenal. Phenomenal, all right? And the reason is people are finally understanding not to treat the casino as a lottery ticket, but to treat it in the same way that you punch a clock if you're going into work, right? You're not there to try to make way more money than what your salary dictates or what your commissions dictate. You take your money and you move and you keep moving. And that's the process, and that's what we've been teaching throughout these last few modules. And I'm starting to really see that people are not sitting there for 47 hours at the craps table or baccarat or roulette. They have reasonable win targets, and they're rolling through the procedures the way that we show them, and they're building and building and building. They're doing exactly what the casino does not want you to do. Okay, think about it. Think about it for a minute. Let's put it in blackjack terms. If the casino has told blackjack players, we don't want your business if you're counting cards, right? So don't you think that the casino is telling you that the best way to win is to count cards? Well, it's the same thing with roulette, baccarat, and craps. They don't want you to come to the craps table or the roulette table or play baccarat, make your 3 to 6 units, and walk away. Because they know the longer you're there, the easier it is for you to make a emotionally charged, moronic decision and bet way over the top just because you lost a couple in a row. Okay? And you're losing your patience. That's how they make their money. If you get in and get out using the right strategies, anything's possible. So let me show you what the reason I'm doing this video. This is going to be really exciting. So the other day, I showed you guys in the last video about this nifty little business statement, and then I took you through, and we'll do this quickly. This all came from a little germ of an idea that I saw. which is from business. It has nothing to do with the casino. And basically it made the statement that if I have 4 products, let's call them digital products or widgets or apps or some kind of a subscription, whatever. Okay, it doesn't matter. If I have 4 products, they sell for $30 each. And if I find the right marketing, the right mechanism to sell 25 of each one of those 4 daily, I make over $1 million in revenue a year. And I looked at this and said, oh my God, that is so cool. What happens? And what we did was we went into, let me see if I can do it. I showed you guys a quick set of crazy numbers that I got from ChatGPT. And I went through some of these. That if you had a $10 product and you had 4 of them and you did this many sales, this is what you would make for 7 days a week for the annual. And then I showed you what would happen if the product, let's say was a $15 product, right? Like this. And you had $15 product, 10 products, let's say, and you did 20 sales of each a day, you'd make $100,000. You can go back and watch that video for the full story. But at the end of the video, I think I blew a lot of people's minds that were watching and going, what does this have to do with casino gaming? And what I did was I simply changed these so that your brain would now snap in. The price became a win target, the products became number of strategies, and the daily sales became basically rotations through. Instead of individual daily sales, they were rotations through the 4 strategies, making $10 each and rotating them 3 times during the day, right? And then it gave us an annual revenue. So we basically just changed the titles, and the same incredible math all of a sudden was right in our face. Well, I went further than that, and one of our guys that are part of our group here, right, that are just like you and me, right, just like you and me, he lives in England. And he helps us with a lot of the spreadsheets that you see. He's been incredible. Those spreadsheets that you see that are in the last few modules that are so amazing, those utilities come from him. Well, I opened his eyes to this concept. And I told him how I wanted to bring this little utility into our world. And then I threw a bunch of interesting little bells and whistles and options and said, can you do this? Well, magically, when you have the skill set that he has, which I don't have, he was able to create a brand new utility spreadsheet. And I'm going to show it to you now. And it is so powerful. But before I do that, I want to show you the spreadsheet he created a little while back. I showed it on this channel. This spreadsheet, which we call the system randomizer utility, we gave away as part of, and I can't remember which ones. I think it was in Casino Diversification Toolbox, and I think it was in the last 2 modules, the roulette and the craps. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. But now we have a group of tools that are so amazing to go along with the daily compound calculator that I've shown you in the past, right? And we are going to have something of our own very soon. I'm not going to say too much here, but you will have the way to use the daily compound calculator that was on that other website. You're going to have a way to utilize that in something that we're building that's going to be available to each and every one of you for free in the next 45 days, most likely. But that's coming. I don't want to let the cat out of the bag. But those of you that were lucky enough to get a copy of this, it goes hand in hand with what I'm going to show you. and hand in hand with the daily compound calculator that we've been playing around with on these videos. All right, so for anybody that hasn't seen this, this has become one of the most important things that we have ever created. It's amazing. This is a system or strategy randomizer that goes hand in hand with Casino Diversification Toolbox. So our concept for the last 6 months has always been to build your toolbox of strategies. Well, if you have a toolbox of strategies using a lot of the things we've taught on YouTube and the private premium courses, how do you put the pieces together, right? Well, that's what this tool, the System Randomizer, does. So you can do as many of these as you want. I think it's up to 10. And when we showed this once before, people were so excited and started using it. And let me tell you something, the results have been phenomenal. So what happens here, let me see if I'm doing this correctly. Yeah. All right. So you go to this tab, the setup tab, and you can put in any of the systems here. So let's just put in 410 lay, right? Let's put in Dirty Dozens, right? One of the systems. Let's put in Baccarat Revolution. All right. Let's put in Baccarat Equalizer, which, by the way, I'm getting that is a system that came out months and months ago. And the people have been shouting to me, some of the new people that bought Baccarat Revolution, that they are still using Baccarat Equalizer as a core part of their toolbox. How do you like that? All right, so I just picked 4 to show you how this works. You can pick more than this, 5, 6, 7, and you'll understand why this is important in a minute. So you are getting ready. You already have your toolbox and you've done all your testing for weeks, and you have decided on what's in your toolbox and the ranking of the systems in your individual tabs of your toolbox for roulette, baccarat, craps, whatever. And everything is set up and you're ready to now start playing live. Well, this is what many of our people are doing and finding huge success. They are using this randomizer and they're putting in the systems that they're going to play that day. 2 systems, 4 systems, 8 systems, whatever it is. And then they're putting in their win targets here. So for purposes of this, I'm just going to put $15 for each one. You can make these different if you want, right? You can do whatever you want. But I just want to show you quickly how this works so we can move on. So now, these are all part of the system randomizer. These are the systems you want to randomize. Now we're going to go to the main screen and let's see if I'm doing this right. There you go. Now you hit randomize and it gives you a random order to play these systems today. So now, when you finish these, you can write down your profits here if you have this on your phone or whatever it may be. Or you can just write them down and put it in later, whatever way you want to do your log. You don't have to use this as a log, but we do have the randomize and save data function that it will keep it for future P&L. Okay, it'll even show the sessions, how many sessions were done with each, and how much money you actually made for each session with each of these. So it does a lot of interesting stuff for the daily session, right? But here's what I want to do. So what we would do here is, let's say that we met the 15 here, and let's say that we had a little bit of a stressful time here, and we closed this with $12. And let's say this one made $22 because it went over the 15. And let's say this one went over and it was a $17. Okay, whatever it may be. All right. This session of 4 strategies is now in the books. Okay. So think about what I showed you here. The original concept. Right? So let's start bringing this together. You had 4, quote unquote, what we were calling products, but they're now strategies. We now have a randomization vehicle for playing this. And if I hit randomize again, it'll randomize it again for session number 2, right? Rotation number 2. So if this is the case, we closed out a full session of the rotation of the 4 strategies, and we hit our targets, whatever they may be, right? Whatever it is, okay? And then we would do it again. And depending on how much time you have at the casino, whether it's live, whether it's online, whatever, it doesn't matter. It's the concept that you need to focus on, right? So now, if we went through these, and this is what we made, that is a closed session number 1. What we were calling daily sales is now a closed session of meeting. Each one of these has 1 sale, right? So if we need 3 sales, we need to go back through once again, depending on how many times and what you're looking to do. So now you say, that's kind of cool to look at it that way. Well, here's where the real magic comes in. Our buddy created this. This is the next piece of what I was showing you on the spreadsheet, but now it's for our world. It's for our casino income world. Watch how amazing this is. Here's the same $15 win target. Here's the same 4 strategies. And we're going to say, we're going to roll through this 3 times. We'll change that to a 3. So our work here is to try to roll through making 15 on those 4 strategies that we just showed you, or whatever you're using for the day, 3 times, right? That's the same as how many sales were made for the 4 products, right? Same concept. Now we can change this to anything you want. So let's say that our win target is 25. We can change that to 25 overall. Not overall. Basically what our individual strategy win target is, right? We're quitting strategy 1, we're rolling into the second one. We're looking for 25. We're quitting strategy 2, we're rolling in. That's what that is. How many of those are we doing? How many strategies? 4. How many sessions are we looking to do rolling through all 4 strategies that we just showed? 3. You can put in the date here. Put in today's date, right? Today when I'm recording this, it's the 29th, I believe. Yep. So just change that to the 29th. Now, you can put this for anything you want, these settings. So right now, we have it for just 1 year. Okay, and we'll go through this in a minute. But if you wanted to, you could change these, because this is going to affect the total profit. That's why we have the 1 year, because we want the big one to be the 1 year. But you can change these, and you can change this any way you want. Okay? Any way you want. Months, weeks, days, whatever. He's got it built in. Okay? The finish date is a year later, because we have it set for the year. See that? And now this is amazing. I didn't know he was going to be able to do this. So the big problem with just looking at these numbers, like we talked about the other day, is no one is going to be able to play. This is for a product that's a digital product launch. So it's selling 7 days a week automatically for the whole year, right? Well, we know we're not going to be in the casino every day of the year or online playing exactly the same for every single day of the year. So this was a fun exercise. And now we have the ability to do this, right? You can say how many days and do a prediction. So if you're only going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 days a week, change this to a no. And now you want to see what happens if you did this 4 days a week, or 2 days a week, or 3 days a week, or every day of the week. And these numbers will magically change. So what is this showing us? If we have a win target of 25 average for each one of the strategies, so we put 4 here. How many strategies can you go through, even if you have a tight win target, for one session, and then how many completed sessions can you do in a day? That's up to you to make that determination. I have no idea. Okay? I don't know what you can do. That's why I put this at a reasonable level. So remember, the interesting thing is, you can change this strategies to 8 strategies that you're rotating through. Right? And 2 sessions. You can change this to 6 strategies and 3 sessions. This is the fun of this utility that brings it all home for you. Forecasting, looking forward, analyzing, and predicting potentially where you might be. Right? This is the other side of the coin. The coin that we teach, which is the most important, is the business sense and the way that we trade the assets. That's the strategies. The money management. You've already done all that work, and now you want to put your toolbox to work for you. So this is the other side of the coin. This is these utilities, this utility, the system rotator utility, right? And where is it? Yeah, and this, right? And of course, the other thing that I show all the time, the compound calculator. Now remember, here's the difference. When I use that daily compound calculator, as I've told you, again, it's not an exact science because we can't just compound from a $10 bet to $10.25 the next day because now we have enough money to do that, right? So when we use the daily compound calculator, it's just helping us to say where could we be. But that's including compounding, moving up your size of your bets based on a bankroll builder plan that you've created or we've given you or we've worked on in our one-on-one private coaching sessions, things like that, right? This is a different animal. This has no compounding, no fancy math. This is flat betting, not flat betting, but never moving up a bankroll builder plan. This just shows you what you could be making with the same win target, right? There's no compounding here. So if you were to do this, the way I have it structured now, 4 days a week, right? A $25 win target for each of those 4 strategies and rotate through it 3 times. Look at these numbers. Look how crazy this is. That's $300 for a day. That's $5,200 a month. No compounding. It's the same routine over and over again. Every week, you're making $1,200 from the casino doing this. No compounding, no bankroll builder plans, no nothing. if you were to just flat go from one day to the next like a robot doing this, you'd make $63,000. Now, if I put the same numbers into the daily compounder, you know this is going to go through the roof, right? But remember, that is the advanced methods that we teach. That's raising your base bet as your bankroll is at the right numbers to be able to do that. This is an amazing thing here because this is clean numbers. This is without the compounding and everything else, just so you can see how a tiny, tiny amount, what does that look like without any compounding? And it is incredible. So let's play with this just for a second. What if we went all the way down to back to the $15 level, but now we rotated, let's try this out. Let's say we rotated 6 strategies. Let's say we had the time to do that, and we did 3 sessions every day, and we still did our 4 days a week. Look, you're still making almost $57,000. So you can play with these numbers. We went down on the sessions, I believe, but we went up on the strategies. So let's see what happens if we change our sessions. Let's say you are doing this full time. You live right near a casino, or you're doing this online, or whatever it is. Whoops. Let's see if we can change this. Look at that. Almost $100,000 a year. No bankroll builder plan. If you were to put a bankroll builder plan on this concept, I don't even want to tell you what this number would turn out to be. Insane, right? But even if you didn't, and you did it like clockwork and always use the same base bets, whatever the base bet is that you have figured out for those individual 6 strategies, right? Whatever that may be, that this video has nothing to do with that. You're playing the right size bankroll and the right size base bets, and you have pulled 6 strategies out of your toolbox. And you have randomly used the system randomizer, and it's given you the randomization. And you can hit it again for the next randomization and the next randomization. Okay? And you could take a snapshot or a picture or write it down if you don't have this on your phone. And you have your rotation for the day, right? For the day for these 5 sessions or 3 sessions or 5 sessions. They're all written out. You have it on your phone. You took a picture of the screen, whatever it is. And your job is to go take a chill pill, sit down, follow your system rotator, work through the first session, make your win targets, or get as close as you can. Whatever you decide to do, that's up to you. This is a solo sport. And you finish your first rotation or session of hitting each of those individual win targets. You take a break and you come back and you use the next randomizer that it gave you, and you do the second one and the third one. If you had the time and you did 5 sessions through the 6 strategies a day, look what that looks like. Is that incredible? Now, the beauty of this is not this giant number here. I mean, this is exciting, right? But here's the way I would use it. Let's get into reality. Today, I plan on spending more time in the casino. I have selected 5 strategies from my toolbox. And I'm going to try to do 4 rotations today. Okay? That makes $300 for the day. That's the number that you're looking at. Okay? Now, if you were to play the next 4 days with the same setup for the week, you would make $1,200. And for the month, $5,200. But that's not reality, right? This is fun to play with. And this gives you a really exciting look at what the future could be. So maybe today, this is the deal, right? I get a really good feeling for what this would do. But I create this for the week, right? This is my exercise plan. This is my diet plan for the week. And I meet these objectives, or as close as you can. You know the way it is. This is not a science. And for week number 2, I want to hold my feet to the fire and make sure I'm sticking to my diet, my exercise plan, and my business plan. So week number 2 is a little bit different, right? Week number 2, I'm going to have an extra day. I'm going to be able to do 5 days this week. But I'm going to switch it up. This time, I'm going to do 4 sessions, but I'm going to add an extra strategy this time. So now I'm going to put 6 strategies in the rotator and do 4 sessions for this whole week, for this second week. Well, now I'm at 360 a day, right? If I actually stuck to this for the entire month, I'd make about 7,800 or so. That's the objective. If I stuck to this plan for the entire year and never blinked, it's about $94,000. But I want you to see the flexibility here. So let me show you something else that's really cool. And I'm pulling this right out of like the other sheet that I showed you the other day. What if you created, I want your brains to start thinking about the casino in a different way, right? That's what I'm all about. That's what I teach. What if I told you that you were going to cut down on this win target? What if I told you that you were going to go down to $12, which means you're in and out quicker, depending on your base bets and things like that? Let's say you're doing all bubble crap strategies, or 3 bubble crap strategies and 3 electronic roulette strategies, or whatever mixture you want. But now your win targets are only $12, right? Smaller win target. This is equivalent to what we call scalping in the trading field. We used to try to scalp. In and out, in and out, in and out. I did this last week when I was in Virginia at Caesars. I was doing micro play and quitting every time I got to about $18 to $20, something like that, for a few hours. It was so stress-free, you have no idea. Now, was I rotating the strategies on a regular basis every time I hit the $12 win target? No, I wasn't doing that, because I was there to test a few strategies. But this is what my people are doing now. This is what I would do the next time I visit in Virginia. Okay? I'm not saying this amount. I'm saying quick, tight, small targets and rotate to the next strategy end game. Okay? So what if this week, what if this was your starting point? Right? What if $12 win targets was your starting point? What if you had 6 strategies for the day and you were willing to do 4 sessions rotating through the 6? Now, that may take too long. You're going to have to determine those things, and you're going to have to simulate how many strategies, how long on average it takes, and how many sessions you're willing to do, right? I'm giving you the utility, the variable, basically, to do this. You have to simulate and figure out what works in real life for you. I don't know how comfortable you are being in a casino or online. I don't know if you lose your focus. I don't know if this is too much for you. Maybe you want to start with less. I'm just showing you. So if you roll down to the $12, which is much easier to make with the strategies we show you, but now you're at a 6 strategy level with 4 sessions, you're making $288 a day. We added that 5th day of the week just for the hell of it to see what it looks like, and that makes $1,440 a week. Right? What if we take it the other way? Right? What if we up these strategies to 8? Right? What if we lower the sessions to 3 a day? It takes us down to 288, right? And that's 5 days a week. Now, what if you're only that's $75,000 a year on average, forecast, with just 8 strategies, which is easy to put into your toolbox with the stuff we've been providing in the private modules, that's for sure. There's no doubt that this is absolutely doable. Now, you want to push it? What if you can do 4 sessions, rotations? You're at $384, and you're at $100,000 a year. You can change the amount of days. Maybe you're only doing this on the weekends, right? What if you do that? What if we click on this and put no? We can't do this during the week. We have a job. What if we only can do it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? Like that. Look at that. Pretty amazing, huh? Pretty amazing stuff. Whoops, that's not right. That was an extra day, guys. I had Thursday on there. I knew something didn't look right. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Right? So you can utilize this to do anything you want. To create the numbers, to be able to do anything. It is amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So, some of you already have the system randomizer that was included in the last, I think, couple of modules. What I'm going to do for people that have not bought modules, I have to make it available. So what we're going to do is we're going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. The gentleman that has been helping us to make all these spreadsheets that you've been getting in these modules and these new spreadsheets, he works with us on a regular basis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a new product in the digital course area of Casino Diversification Toolbox. So anybody that does not have this, anybody that wants the new Casino Predictor, that's what we're calling this, I guess, right? Casino Predictor. If you don't have this, and I'm going to put it together as a package so that for a small amount of money, you can grab the Casino Predictor and the system randomizer. Okay? And I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. I need to take care of this person that's putting in the time to create this stuff for us. So the majority of the funds that are going to be coming into any sales directly on this package, I'm going to pay him for creating these amazing tools for us so that he will continue to help us move forward, creating these amazing tools and lots of other utilities for the strategies that we've been doing and spreadsheets for them going forward. So if you want to help support us and this individual that's been helping us and putting in the time to create this stuff and have these 2 amazing tools that are so incredible to use, go ahead if you want. You don't have to buy anything, like I always say. No one is forcing you to buy anything, right? But if you want to support him and Casino Income Academy for the amount of money that we're putting out to create these tools, and some of the stuff coming up in the very near future that is way bigger than this. Way, way bigger than this. It's been in the works for many, many months, which you're going to see in the next month and a half or so, or maybe sooner when we're done testing. It is a monster. A lot of money went into creating that. A lot of money. So if you want to help support us and get these crazy tools, both of these tools, in the next day or so, I'll have it up in the digital course area so you guys can purchase this. I'm not putting it up for some crazy amount of money or anything like that. I just think that it'll be a lot of fun for you guys, and it'll help once again as a business tool to go along with what I already gave you, the daily compound calculator in some of the other videos, and the link to that. I'll put the link to that in this video also, just so you know. But very soon, you're not going to have to use that one because we're going to have our own very, very soon. All right. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys in the next video. All of these tools are just helpful in predicting, in forecasting, in focusing your brain on what can happen when you drill down all the way to what you need to be doing, and not walk in the casino just, willy-nilly. Hey, let's see what we're going to make today. Let's sit here for the next 72 hours playing this game. Those are the worst things you can do. That is the worst thing you can do. If you spend hours and hours and hours creating your toolbox, testing the strategies, ranking the strategies, testing the bankroll, the win targets, the everything, all the money management, and then to run into the casino without a game plan is stupid. You're not stupid if you spend that time. So now you need to put those things to work in your business by having a game plan per day. That comes from the rotator. That comes from understanding this, which is giving you what you're going to try to accomplish that day. And it comes from bankroll builder plans, teaching you and showing you how to move up your base bets. And that's it for today, guys. So I'm going to try to get this up in the digital course area over the next 24 hours or so. And it'll be available to you guys, anybody who wants it. And I do appreciate everything each and every one of you guys do, whether it's just watching the videos on YouTube, subscribing to the channel. Everything you do is continuing to make us work harder and continue to do what we're doing. Because to be honest with you, the amount of time I spend on videos, creation, testing, systems, and everything else, I could walk away at any time and just do this for myself and my family and private clients that are paying for the one-on-one coaching. I spend so much time on doing the content, creating things, evaluating things, answering emails, and everything else. But you know what? I'm not complaining. I love what I do. I love opening people's eyes to what they thought could never be, because they thought this was only an entertainment source. So I love the challenge of showing people that what they believed was here is smoke and mirrors. What's here is a real ability if you choose to do it and you choose to learn and educate yourself in the same way you do with anything else in life, and then test and simulate. This is possible. This is not compounding. This is just doing the same thing day after day. Okay? You can change these numbers and do whatever you want. All right. That's it. This should be available within the next 24 hours. I will see you guys on the next video. And again, if you have not bought Baccarat Revolution or any of the modules we put out in the last few months, and you need a special deal because you're going to buy multiple modules, just shoot me a message and I will make sure that you get an incredible discount by purchasing multiple modules. That's it for now, guys, and I hope to see you on the next video.